Hey y'all, it's Jess from Sunflower Dairy, and I have 5 seeds that I want to talk to you about that you can plant out in your garden before your last frost date. So you can plant them right now in your garden. As long as the snow has melted, you're good to go, because these things are cold hardy. Also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I will have 2 bonus seeds that you can also plant out in your garden. Alright, so first thing is spinach. So spinach actually prefers the cold. So a lot of you have probably tried to plant spinach when it's warm, like in the summertime or when it's just starting to warm up in the spring. Spinach does not like the heat, so that's why spinach usually bolts when you plant it. So plant spinach in the cold and you should have a great success with that. Also, a lot of times I've noticed if I plant spinach in the fall, it will actually overwinter and then it will grow again in the spring, and then when it's hot, then it will be gone. But spinach likes the cold. Next thing is peas. Peas you can actually plant out when it is actually still snowing. So when there is snow still on the ground, you can actually, have you ever heard of snow peas? That's where that came from, because people were planting peas in the snow. So that's why a lot of people will call them snow peas. So you can plant peas when it's still cold. Next thing is radishes. Radishes actually really like the cold, and they actually don't like the heat at all. So usually if you plant radishes when it's really hot, then they will bolt and go right to flower. So planting radishes when it's really cold, they will do way better. And usually, I don't know if you've noticed this, but usually radishes, if you plant them at the right time, they will grow super quickly. So if you want food quickly, plant some radishes, because usually it's about 28 to 30 days for radishes to fully mature. So that is a quick turnaround to get some food in your garden. And you can go ahead and, have you heard of concession sowing? So you can plant a row of radishes, a couple days later you'll plant another row of radishes, and then you'll just keep planting radishes, and then you'll keep getting radishes. You'll keep getting the radishes going and going until you finally get that hot weather, and then your radishes will be about done. But that is a good way to get food quickly in the early spring months. So plant some radishes in your garden. Next thing is kale. Kale actually really likes the cold, but it will also do pretty well in the warmer weather. But kale is cold hardy, and a lot of times kale can be planted pretty early and it will be just fine. And then also kale, you can have this planted in the fall as well, and it really likes the cold. It does fine. A lot of times I've had kale over winter. Next thing is carrots. So a lot of people don't plant carrots at the right time, which, if you've heard this, a lot of people say that they have a hard time getting carrots to germinate. And that is because carrots like it to be cool. Carrots like it to be raining, and carrots don't like the soil to dry out. So if you remember that, you will have great success with carrots. A lot of people, they'll try planting carrots when it's really hot, and so many people say that they can't get carrots to sprout, and it's because the soil is too dry and also it's too hot for the carrot seeds. So I've heard of people trying to put cardboard on their carrots to hold in the moisture, so it stays dark and cool. But sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And then I've also heard people trying to put burlap on it to kind of try to hold in that saturation in the soil. But the key is to plant your carrots when it's still cool and when we're getting that spring rain. So that is the key for carrots. All right, so as you can see, there's quite a few things that you can be planting in your garden right now. A lot of people are like, oh, I have to wait until my last frost date. Actually, there are things that don't like to be planted when it's warm. So get these things planted when it's cool, and you'll be getting stuff in your garden before you're putting your summer crops in. So that's something to remember. Also, the two other seeds that I have to talk to you about, I don't have them with me, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a bonus and tell you what they are. Cilantro. You do not want to plant cilantro when it's hot because that will bolt and go right to flower. Cilantro you want to plant when it is cool and raining. And cilantro actually really likes to grow even in the fall, and I have had cilantro like to grow in the winter as well. And it gets pretty cold here. We're only zone 5B 6A, so it's not extremely warm here in the winter time. It's actually quite cold, and sometimes it can get down into the negatives, and we have lots and lots of snow sometimes and frozen soil. So that cilantro really likes the cold. The other thing is poppies. So if you love flowers, poppies is a great thing that actually I've heard that people say if you sprinkle poppy seeds on the snow, they actually grow better. So give that a try. Go ahead, throw out some poppy seeds in the snow and see how they do. But the thing is to remember that poppies need light to germinate. So literally just toss them on the soil or toss them in the snow where you want them. And remember to plant them early when it's cool and you're getting that rain, and you can even plant them on the snow. All right, all. I hope you have kind of thought about some things that you can plant in the garden right now to get your garden going before you're waiting for those summer crops. Thank you all for watching. Have a blessed day.